Layden, what was UMass doing early on that made it so hard to run against, and how did you guys adjust as the game went along?
They was just doing stuff that we expected them to do, that we practiced hard with Coach Adazio and his plan and telling us what we were doing. We just wasn't getting movement on them in the first half. We were playing too lateral and not playing, getting on the field, and we fixed that in the second half.
We'll go third row on the left to Mark.
Layden, how frustrating was it not to be able to put these guys away until pretty late?
It's always a little frustrating in the beginning part, because you know what you have to do, and we just seen drives that we just gave up and we didn't finish in the red zone area, and we just had to figure out, all right, how do we finish those drives? And that is frustrating. We're going to figure out why we didn't finish those drives in film, and we're going to get that right going into this next week against LSU. And the second half is just, that's what we were supposed to be doing in the first half.
We'll go front row on the right to Cole.
Layden, Jimbo says a win's a win, but for you internally as a team, how does it feel to get the monkey off your back of a 6-game losing streak?
It's always good to get a win. You don't take those for granted because they're hard to come by, especially in this league. So it's a blessing to get a win. We just didn't get the win the way we wanted to get the win. So we just got to figure that out.
And then when you have young players like Noah Thomas and Le'Veon Moss, potentially the future of this team, especially when you have veterans like Devon and then Evan, who's been a factor, missing the game, how important is it for them to get as many reps as possible for next season?
It's very important so they could get that confidence up. I know when I was a young guy in their shoes, I wanted to play to make sure to let myself know and my peers know that I'm able to play in this league and sustain in this league, and I could be a factor for the team, So I think that's very important for them, and they did their job today, and they did great.
We'll go back behind the lights to Daryl on the left side.
Layden, can you talk about the turnovers and just how disappointing that part of it is, and how that, kind of stymied your offense and being able to put up the points that you felt like you needed to today?
The turnovers are always hard because we turned the ball over down in the red zone, and that's some of the worst places you can't turn over the balls. You don't want to have turnovers, period, but especially in that area when you're about to score, because that takes the momentum down. But we still capitalized and won the game after all of those turnovers and all those bad drives that happened. So what a surprise, and what we could have done if we just didn't turn the ball over and if we did finish those drives in the red zone.
We'll go third row on the right to Christy.
You guys normally have such great crowds here. Was it disappointing to the players to see how thin the crowd got, especially in the second half?
No, not really, especially for the weather and the environment and stuff like that. So it wasn't, some of the stuff like that is expected, but we really don't pay attention too much in the crowd. We have to play the game, no matter if there's 0 people in the stadium, if there's 1,000 people in the stadium, if the stadium is fully packed. We have to do our job and we have to play. That's not a factor in our play at all.
We'll go back to Daryl behind the lights on the left side.
Layden, can you kind of talk about, I guess, what it's going to be like for this week? I know that you're going to close out the season against LSU, but just the excitement of being able to take on LSU and come for a night game at Kyle next Saturday.
It's always exciting to play a top opponent like LSU. They're a great team, and they're coming in here in our home stadium, and they're trying to beat on us. So our job is to just do what we do best, is just come out here and fight to the very end, and just have that sense of pride. We always play. Obviously, we play with everybody, and that's what we have to continue to do. And you never know. We're probably pulling out and win this thing if we just do our job and just stick to our fundamentals and do what we came here to do.
We'll go front row on the right to Cole.
Layden, everyone has their own thought process of going into certain games after you break a losing streak. For you personally, do you view it as one more shot, or do you view it as a straight 0-0 record with an opportunity to finish the year 1-0?
I just look at it as another opportunity. Just another opportunity to go out there and do something great with your teammates. Unfortunately, this is the last go round for this team, but you can't focus on stuff like that. All you gotta do is just go out there and play the game that you love, and the game that God has blessed you to play, and play at this great university.
Any more questions? All right, thank you, Layden.
Thank you all. Have a blessed night.